and gentlemen, will you please rise? Gentlemen, remove your caps, and please welcome Cardinal Ledger School to center court for tonight's national anthem. Cardinal Ledger School, ladies and gentlemen. And now let's say hello first to the visitors, the Niagara River Lions. At 1-4, standing 6'9", out of Scarborough, Ontario, wearing number 0, Richard Martin. Another guard, standing 6'2", out of Houston, Texas, wearing number 2, Nick O'Corey. Another guard, standing 6'6", out of Springwood, Illinois, wearing number 12, Marcus Lewis. 6'10" center, out of Florence, South Carolina, number 15, Sam Muldrow. And 6'7" forward, out of White Plains, New York, wearing number 31, Kurt Williams Jr. River Lions are coached by Keith Vassell, assisted by Elliot Edmonton, Vito DiMartino, and Grace O'Cole. And now, ladies and gentlemen, will you please welcome to the floor your KW Titans dance pack.
Good evening from Kitchener. Dan Polshik along with Adam Jackson. We do apologize for those technical difficulties, and we are underway here at the Odd. Still scoreless here in the early going. And the KW Titans obviously looking to extend the success they had on Tuesday night here this evening. A record-setting evening, much has been made about it. 25 three-pointers made. A new NBL of Canada record, 8 coming from Adam Blazik, which is a season high at least. As there's a tough shot by Wing, that won't go. 5 starters for KW tonight: Blazik, Horton, Flenard Whitfield, Umapeg, and a Wing. Flen Whitfield, boy, he had a heck of a game on Tuesday. A season high 23 points. Doing great things at the stretch 4 spot here for KW since joining the team. There's a 3-4, the aforementioned Whitfield doesn't go, but Umapeg with the board. Blazik is fouled hard, and maybe sending a message there a little bit as Amarty crashed hard to challenge that shot. Blazik will go to the line for 3, nursing that right elbow just a little bit. Fortunately for him, he's a lefty.
Yeah, this is a very motivated Niagara team, to say the least. They're losers of 5 straight, and I was speaking with Keith Vassell before the game, the head coach of the River Lions, and he mentioned to me that these guys want to win, and they know that obviously this season has not been kind to them, and there has been a coaching change obviously with Keith Vassell coming in. I think it was about 5 or 6 games ago. He's a fairly new head coach. He was the assistant coach, but when you go through a transition like that, obviously it's going to be difficult. But these guys know, they're professional basketball players. They know what needs to be done, and they know sort of how to come back from a game like that as well.
As they'll certainly be looking to reduce the amount of opportunities that KW has from beyond the arc. Here goes Blazik, nice strip there by the Titans. Now Horton dropping off for Whitfield, and the travel call. Easy call for the official there. Whitfield doesn't think so. But another turnover for the Titans here with 9:23. We're just underway here at the Odd. And aside from that 3-pointer record, some more headlines for the Titans this week with Paul Cooper, one of the inaugural Titans, deciding to leave the squad for other opportunities. First was reported overseas. Some other indications could be South America. Either way, as that one rolls in for Muldrow, and that opens the scoring for Niagara. Paul Cooper, the big man, no longer with KW, and that will fall, and much of the work and the pain will fall to George Blakeney, one of the newest Titans.
Yeah, and obviously it's a loss for the Titans, but like we were discussing earlier, it's sort of a convenient loss at the same time with AJ Davis coming back from an injury. So it opens up a roster spot for him to be able to come back into the roster. But obviously, having the Titans were in a little bit of a luxury having 2 of those guys and two fairly competent big guys in the lineup. But obviously, George Blakeney seems to be doing the job pretty well, and there's no real reason for 2, but the more the merrier in that kind of situation.
And for the Titans too, they've kind of evolved their game into a different direction with going a bit smaller on their lineup and not focusing as much on the inside game, and with a guy like Flen Whitfield too, being able to shoot as well as he does, certainly makes that decision a little easier. And there's another travel call, this time going against Niagara. Mentioned AJ Davis. He is dressed tonight. I think his minutes will be limited if he does even see the floor this evening. Last action was on March the 7th for him against these very same River Lions. He's been out ever since, dealing with a leg and ankle injury. Umapeg pulls up for the 3, no good. Muldrow with the board. And here's a Corey. Corey had a strong performance on Tuesday night. Corey, the Houston, Texas native, had 19 on 8 for 16 shooting. Here's Umapeg working off the screen. Flen Whitfield denied down low. Blazik picking it up though. His jumper is short. And the other way, it's Marty. A lob up there, and he'll finish off the alley-oop. Nice play there in connection. Marty draining at the Scarborough native. And Oregon Duck. And nice put back there by Fun Whitfield, getting up, climbing the ladder. The Oregon Ducks obviously in the Final Four. They'll be playing later tonight. So good timing to watch the Titans here and then flick on that game. Two former Ducks in Marty as well as Jason Cleast of the Titans. And chatting with him pregame as they were doing their initial shoot around, asking him, are the Ducks going to get it done? And he's pretty confident. Of course they are. Were his exact words. Spoken as a true alumni. We use Okori, the ball handler, with Niagara leading it by 3 here with 7 minutes to go in the opening frame. Kirk Williams Jr., team's leading scorer, decides to take that three. Heavy on the touch. Umapeg over for Blazik, slashes in. Back for Umapeg, finds Wing. Good ball distribution, but the pass is low and hits the shin of Whitfield and then rolls out of bounds.
It's interesting to see so far. Speaking to Keith Vassell before the game, he suspected that the Titans were going to keep with the same sort of game plan and get the ball to the outside and get those looks because the River Lions showed pretty weak defense on the outside, and that's what they've done so far. But the only problem today is the shooting just hasn't been there. And obviously you're not going to shoot at the same rate that you did when you set a record in three-pointers by a team. But they may have to change that tactic soon if the shooting doesn't heat up.
Yeah, Kitchener just 1 for 10, and we have 6:30 to go here in the first. So starting off definitely a little cold are the Titans. As we have a pair of substitutions, Stutz coming on, Amarty heading off, as well as Williams Jr. We'll see Carl Hall for the first time tonight. And you'll notice number 24 won't be appearing for the Niagara River Lions, at least with the name Chris Commons on the back of the jersey. He's headed out east, joining Cape Breton just a few days ago. Now a head fake there from Blazik, decides to hold on to it. Works it over for Umapeg, gets the screen from Blakeney. Nice pass down low, and Blakeney doesn't convert, but he is fouled on his way up and he'll head to the stripe. George Blakeney in the ball game now, and he'll look to convert. Only been in double digits 4 times this season since joining the Titans just in late February. His first game back on February the 23rd, in fact. North Carolina Pembroke drains his first. But for him to be effective, he has to be physical down low and get to the stripe, much like he did earlier on as well. He was at a 10 of 14 day from the free throw line. That was his 4th game in. Ever since then, not so much. The highest he's been in terms of attempts is 7. That one won't fall for Niagara. A couple attempts at a putback, and Adam Wing's there to try to rip it loose, and a jump ball being called. And possession arrow pointing in favor of Niagara. And we will have a timeout on the floor with 5:43 to go here in the first. A low-scoring affair in the early going. Both teams struggling to get going. 6-5. The River Lions up, shooting only 33%, and KW is still stuck at 1 for 10. Although buoyed a little bit by some free throw shooting. Other scores across the NBL Canada, only the lone game otherwise, aside from this one, it's the London Lightning and Windsor Express, big divisional game, and currently London up by 3, 12-9. That's about midway through the opening quarter. So for the Titans, they'll be heading back out east for a bit of a road swing before they come back home, and the majority of those games to wrap up the season will be right here on the home floor at the Odd, and I'm sure they're looking forward to finishing on a high here in their inaugural season in the NBL Canada. And for them, getting back to 500 and at least getting a couple of games over would be huge.
Yeah, definitely, and you know, that's why, you know, we were talking the last game on Tuesday about how important that game was. Although you know, there still is lots of time left, and you know, there's lots of games left to play. But you know, getting into a good mindset and you know, getting that good team chemistry going into a stretch like that, I believe is very, very important. And obviously, you know, we've seen so far, obviously the Titans are struggling shooting a little bit, but they look a little bit more loose. You know, I've noticed before the Titans have started games, you know, a little bit uptight, a little bit nervous, but they seem loose in this one so far, which is definitely a positive sign. And you know, they have every reason to be after winning 120 to 103 on Tuesday.
And especially after being on a bit of a losing skid of their own, losing 5 of the last 6. But now back in the win column recently and looking to carry that forward. Dropped off for more out of the timeout for Niagara, well off the mark, and Wing has it fall into his arms. Umupeg drives hard and hits some traffic on the way in. Wing picks up the loose ball, and Jason Calise, the aforementioned Oregon Duck graduate, and a foul as there was a reach-in by Zaglinski, and that's his first personal. Talk about, as much as you talk about Adam Blazek last game, Umupeg started really to kickstart things off from long distance. He had 5 himself from beyond the arc in that game, and has been a pleasant addition since joining KW.
Yeah, we should probably mention Kirk Williams Jr. For the Niagara River Lions. You know, with 32 points in the game.
Season high.
Definitely, you know, he's been a thorn in the Titans' side so far this season. Obviously, you know, he's a go-to guy for the River Lions. He gets a lot of the looks for the team, but you know, the Titans are going to have to figure him out somehow.
Absolutely, as he has really feasted on Titans this season. As you said, Umupeg now for Calise, catch and shoot 3. That'll rattle in for Jason Calise. Calise also with a handful of 3s last game. And a turnover. It's Calise again. He'll find Wing wide open, head fake, dishes inside. Nice pass there for Blakeney, and one too many as Big George tried to find Tremar Sullivan, who wasn't even looking his way. So some of the bench coming in for KW at this point, and Umupeg, we see sporting a black eye on the right side of his face, but just speaks to how physical he can get too. Not one to shy away from that contact. Swung over Zaglinski, catch and shoot 3 himself, and that'll float in. Niagara back up on top by 1, 9-8. Umupeg gets the screen from Wing, an illegal one at that, as his feet were still moving. And another turnover for the Titans, that one being their 6th of the quarter. So not the cleanest of quarters, really, for either team, but obviously we're focused on the Titans' performance, and still sitting at only 14% shooting to Niagara's 33. Zaglinski off the window and out. Blakeney with the board, quickly up from Horton to Calise, pull up 3, and that's nothing but net for him. Back-to-back 3s for Jason Calise, and he has the Titans back up on top by 2.
That's exactly what it took on Tuesday to get going, just a couple in a row, and everybody just kind of gets into that groove. So hopefully the Titans can sort of draw on that and you know, get everybody into that mode again.
And a rejection down low for KW.
Out of bounds, Titans basketball.
At least a partial deflection, and now the KW Titans will come away with it. Williams Jr. set to check back in here shortly with the Corey. Mel Johnson pulls up, doesn't go for him, the long distance shot. And with 3 minutes to go, is Murray driving. And they'll count the bucket on the continuation. From here, it looked like the foul was on the floor before he went up, but nonetheless, they'll give him the bucket.
Titans personal foul, charge number 0, George Whitney is first. He's fourth.
So trying to make it a 3-point play here is Tyler Murray, the Toronto native, averaging 4.2 points a game. That one will roll out. Now Ed Horton. Hands off, Kalist over to Johnson. Back and forth they go. They try the near side. Big screen there from Blakeney. Or a hard screen, I should say. Floated in. That's a tough pass to make. And they're going to say Blakeney had the inside positioning and a foul on Nick O'Corey.
Niagara foul, charge number 2, Nick O'Corey is first.
And that's O'Corey's first. Fourth team foul as we're tied up here at 11 currently. Sutherland, bounce pass in on the inbounds. And a legal screen in that whole sequence results in KW's 7th turnover already. The charge called on the play, and now Blakeney will have to head back and play some defense. Murray one-on-one with Kalist. Here's O'Corey. Left side, nice pass in there for Williams Jr. Bit of a head fake, doesn't fall for him. He was in prime position to lay that one in, but no luck. Horton now. Crossover, drive off the glass, and out for him. Trouble executing on both ends on layups. Now Zaglinski trying to find Stutz down low. He's gonna be fouled from behind. That's a mismatch any day of the week. Kalist going up against Stutz. Stutz standing 6'9" at 220. And then you have Kalist at, well, a little smaller than that. In fact, Kalist standing at 6'2", 180. So Stutz will head to the line. Misses his first.
Beginning, I think somebody must have deflated the basketball a little bit. Neither team can really seem to get any shooting going here tonight. With the Titans still less than 20% at around 17. The Niagara River Lions a little bit better. I'll give them some credit at 31%, but still not ideal for either team so far.
Stutz was 1 for 2 from the line there a moment ago, where he's shooting 71% on the season, and we'll have a reach-in foul. Fans none too pleased, but chagrined with the call, as well as probably the frustrating start as well for their Titans. And already a team 6th foul of the quarter. A lot of choppy play here in Kitchener. Stutz one-on-one with Blakeney. Dribbles in, and floater doesn't go. And Blakeney trying to rip the ball out, and the elbow catches Stutz right in the chin, or in the jaw rather. And I think they're gonna give a foul to Blakeney, but the officials are going to discuss before the official call is made. Yep, they're gonna charge him. Unsporting foul against George Blakeney here, and he's gonna be subbed off momentarily. Serge Langus can't believe the call. Nothing malicious behind it. He was just trying to rip the ball away.
Yeah, it definitely didn't look like anything malicious to me. That's just part of playing the ball and getting your position. So obviously an unfortunate situation for the Titans in this game, losing Blakeney.
As the official now discussing things, or at least giving an ear to Serge Langus, as Stutz drains the free throw off the foul call. Officiating crew tonight, Ross Isley, Dave Moxon, and Mike Hardy, with Isley being the crew chief. Stutz has it rattle in there, and Niagara will retain possession too. Now up by 3. Stutz will head off and chat things over with Keith Vassell, as you said, the new bench boss of the Niagara River Lions within the last 6 games or so. Their former head coach, Grace Locoli, had actually taken an assistant's role after the change, but now has permanently transferred or traveled out west now to take another opportunity, so no longer with the River Lions. The lay-in there for Niagara is good. They're up by 5. Rotation up top, and now it finds Cavell Johnson in the post. Spin move, and that will spin in for him. That's Cavell Johnson's first bucket of the night. Under a minute to go, and Zaglinski nearly lost it, gets it back up top. Marty, ball fake, step back 3, swish for him. Richard Marty, nice looking shot. Now goes in for Flynn Whitfield. This is a good matchup here. Whitfield, couple dribbles, spin move himself. Quickly up top, now Horton. He'll take a 3, he's fouled, and Ed Horton now will head to the free throw line. Good ball movement there from the Titans, all started by Flynn Whitfield down low. And we should also mention to manage the live chat portion of your screen. We always like to hear your comments, questions, or feedback on tonight's ball game, and we certainly will interact when we're able to. As Horton settles in for his first free throw, it's good. Trying to get the Titans back within a bucket. That also falls for Horton, and he's got one more to try and make it a perfect 3. Ed Horton, in his 9 games with KW, pretty prolific from the free throw line, only missing 4 and shooting 85%. That one will also get a friendly roll, so he takes full advantage of the opportunity, and again has the Titans back within 2, 25 seconds to go in the quarter. Marty on his left hand, crosses over, and we're going to call a carry on that. Now with 19 seconds to go, shot clock turned off, we'll have a timeout. And that'll be called by head coach Serge Langus and the Titans as they try to knot this one up. As this crowd is really, it was very similar feeling, I think, on Tuesday night. I think it took a while for them to get into things, but boy, once those 3-pointers started flying, they certainly got loud. Same thing here tonight, both teams kind of scuffling offensively. I think they're just waiting for a reason to really start getting loud.
Exactly. Yeah. It takes those big moments, and that not only gets the crowd into it, but sometimes that can get a game, or get a team into the game as well. Having either a dunk or a big 3-point shot, can get the team rolling and sort of get some extra energy into these guys as well, because both sides seem just a little bit flat tonight.
And they've had a lot of rest between games. It's not as if they're playing back-to-back games here. So we'll see what the second quarter will bring. We're 19 seconds away from that. At least one more possession. Jason Calise has at least the mildly warm hand for the KW Titans offensively. A pair of 3-pointers. Leads all scorers with 6. So you almost have to wonder whether he'll get a chance here with the final possession of the frame. Also a reminder too, if you're looking for an official piece of KW Titans memorabilia, those camouflage jerseys that they wore for pair games are still going on in the silent auction. Be sure to check out kwtitans.ca. Last I checked, I think the Blazik jersey was doing pretty well there.
Yeah, I
Wing
think that
too.
was the top one. Yeah. Last I saw it was around $500. I'm sure it's well over that now.
As there's a fight for the loose ball, Ed Horton had the carry in and just didn't fall for him. And had a few words for the official after, thought he was fouled, but nothing forthcoming. So it's the KW Titans down by 2 after the opening 12 minutes of play here from Kitchener. Dan Polish along with Adam Jackson, he being the sports editor of the Waterloo Chronicle and KW Post. Make sure to check out his articles online. He really followed the beat of the KW Titans this season, and pretty good gathering here tonight. And with a potential playoff run, maybe, you never know how much enthusiasm was going to even build beyond this.
Yeah, definitely. I think we talked about this last time, and how there's always that fear that there's so much hype, so much momentum at the beginning that things will just kind of tail off. But we've seen so far this crowd just by looking around, it seems a little bit smaller than the average that they've been getting so far, but it has been fairly consistent. So this is good news so far.
And looking at mid-court, wow, I think that's a new league record. In fact, you may recall we had a proposal at the start of the season, and this is the second proposal of the season, or is it? You know what?
That was cruel.
That was really well done. Really well done indeed. So I guess it only stays at one. Cavell Johnson had quite a memorable, or kicked off a memorable first game for the KW Titans at the start of this year, proposing to his girlfriend, now fiancée obviously, and boy, had everyone going, it seemed like.
Had tears coming to my eyes. Don't do that to me.
We all know you're sentimental at heart. As funny as that was, KW Titans all business now as they get back on the floor here. It's Tramar Sutherland, Ed Horton, Cavell Johnson, Glenn Whitfield, and now checking in Greg Morrow into the ball game as he is the ball handler at this moment. Over for Johnson, lobbed inside, tough one for Whitfield to handle, and he collided there. Kirk Williams Jr. got a hard knock in the head, and he's down, holding the back of his head, and he's in a lot of pain. Now he seems to be okay. Shook it off pretty well.
These guys are tough.
So are we gonna get a foul on this call? Or on this whistle? I don't think so, but the official was heading to the scores table, but no, I think we're all good. I think Coach Langwis is asking the same thing just to make sure. Stutz checking in now back in for Niagara. And Williams Jr. will stay in the ballgame. Whitfield drives, middle of the paint, doesn't go the first time, nearly had it a second, and the Titans continue to struggle. Just 20%, now less than 20% from the field. O'Corey drives, it was cut off there nicely by Horton and put the shoulder down into number 3 of the Titans, and that's going to result in an offensive foul, the charge being called. Check into that Windsor Express London Lightning game, 36-28 now. The Express taking the 8-point lead over the Lightning, who have been dealt a significant blow with Royce White heading home, and it's really not expected, or they really don't know when he's going to be back.
Yeah, and I was just kind of looking at the schedule ahead for the Titans, so convenient timing for that. They are going to get a test out east, playing the Halifax Hurricanes on April 9th. And I think that will be a good indicator for sort of where this team is, obviously.
And barely lost of them here on home floor.
Exactly. So if they can sort of build off that, obviously, this team now is a little bit different than it was back then.
Absolutely.
If they can build on that and at least put in a solid effort, I think it'll be a confidence booster for these guys, and B, it'll sort of put the rest of the league in check in terms of where the Titans are in the food chain. When you go up against a team like London, as beleaguered as they may be now, you're obviously going in expecting to lose against a team of that caliber. But having another type of team that's a high caliber team will be a good opportunity for this team and to be up against them again.
Halifax Hurricane, the defending champions in the MAL of Canada, and as I had mentioned, they came in for a game just before the new year, or in fact, just after the new year. There's a 3 that's brims in for Niagara, and they go up by 5 again, 21-16. And you'll recall Halifax winning that on a buzzer beater. A long 2 in the corner in front of their own bench. That was a pretty good matchup, and talk about litmus tests. At that point in time, KW was feeling pretty good about themselves. Now we have Tyrone Dixon coming onto the floor for the first time tonight, wearing number 34 for KW. Replacing Cavell Johnson, blaze it back in for Ed Hort. And with the following on social media, a lot of people really considering Blazek the team's MVP 3/4 of the way through the season. There's a block, no, a foul called on Umapag. That'll be his second.
It's really hard to argue so far with the way not only the way that he puts points up, but you can see his demeanor on the court and sort of the way that he reacts to things and the way that he leads the team. There's no other better word for it. He leads the guys out there.
Leads by example, really,
exactly.
too.
Yeah, you don't see him chatting a lot, but you can tell that he's kind of meticulous in the way that he orchestrates things on the court.
Showing by his preparation too. Not one to shy away from contact, and will do anything to really kickstart the offense, and defensively as well. That can't go unheralded. And we have a foul off the ball. And is it on? I think that's on Kirk Williams Jr. Oh, Marcus Lewis, rather. And for Lewis, that's his first personal. Inbounded here by Morrow. Blazek considered the 3. Drives in further. That's a tough shot. Off balance. And he just threw it up. Now Williams Jr. One-on-one with Whitfield or Dixon, and gets the best of that matchup. Quickly up the floor, Whitfield denied from behind, but he's fouled at the same time. Muldrow does not like that call. For Muldrow, that'll be his first. So Flynn Whitfield will head to the stripe with 2 points to his name. And for Whitfield, this is the first trip to the charity stripe. Decent gathering of River Lions supporters behind us and getting an earful on that call. Not only is it official, but we are too. Whitfield makes both. Titans down by 6. Mishandled pass and an errant one there by Stutz. Or as he was the recipient, rather. Nowhere close. Now KW trying to close the gap a little further. Winnipeg will walk it up. Policed over for Dixon. Moves it over for Blazek. Good rotation up top. Winnipeg drives, dishes off our Whitfield. Tried the slam and partially got denied. Williams Jr. Over goes for Corey. Corey bobbles it, loses it. Now Morrow will push it up the floor. Winnipeg 1-on-2, lobs it up, and there is Whitfield to tip it in. Good coordination there by the big man to go up and get it. Titans just down by 4 now, 8:45 left in the first half. Here goes Williams Jr., slashes his way in and off his left hand. Now he heads back to play some defense, but limping heavily. Took a bump on that left leg.
Interesting, that's only Williams' 4th point, only his 2nd basket of the game. So obviously the Titans have done a good job of covering him defensively, but I wonder with that trip back if it's more than that, if it's stemming from an injury.
So Williams Jr. is going to head off. Whitfield showing some frustration there as another turnover. That's the Titans' 10th of the evening. Niagara not much better at protecting the basketball with 9 already. There's Lewis. Worked around for Amarty. Stutz with that ball fake. Rip loose. And Dixon got a hand in. They're going to call it a jump ball. Possession arrow pointing in favor of Niagara. Corey will wander over to inbounds now. Clears it up top. Driving that to Marty, and the charge called. As again, it's Dixon stepping in to take the contact. And that's a Marty getting a second of the game. Morrow now in the corner. Umapeg up top, decides to take that 3, and it'll fall. Umapeg. And surprisingly, that's his first points of the night tonight. 4 dimes though, as he's usually content to distribute the basketball, and he's certainly done that. For the team to be successful, they need a bit of offense from him, but for the most part, they want to see him moving the basketball, and he's come as advertised in that respect.
Oh, definitely. He's a guy. The thing that's impressed me with him the most is his vision. He can see things almost before they happen. He sees how things are developing and finds a guy. And part of that comes down to familiarity with your team and knowing where people are going to be and knowing where to put the ball. But it seems like he just has a sort of a sixth sense for where his teammates are going to be.
O'Corey 1 for 3, or 1 for 2 rather, from the line there. That one will fall. Another 3 for the Titans. And it's a 2-point ball game with just over 7 to go now. Corey is only in his 4th game with Niagara, but averaging double digits in each one of those previous 3. And he's already up to 7 on the night, as there's another putback by Niagara at the other end. Missed shot, and away they go again. Here's number 2, O'Corey going. Deep 3. Nearly put back into their own basket, but now here, Flenn Whitfield. He's away, going coast to coast. Number 33 showing some flashes of brilliance there. Zaglinski looking inside. There's Stutz. Gathers it in, and he's going to be fouled. Whitfield saying he had both hands up, but just didn't have the right angle. And for Whitfield, I think that's going to be number 3. Don't check the number 2 in terms of fouls on 6 points. So Stutz returns to the free throw line, where he's 3 of 4. That's where he's gotten all his points this evening. Drains the first. As well as the second. 5 of 6, and he'll take a breather now. And he gets a high five from his teammate and his coach. Titans been trailing in this one for essentially all of the ball game. Whitfield in the paint, has to get rid of it. And that'll get a friendly roll for Whitfield. He's up to double digits now with 10. Zaglinski thought about it. Tries the right side, gets Whitfield off his feet. And a foul called down low this time. And that's Blazik. And For Blazek, that's his first personal, and we have a timeout on the floor with 5:47 to go in the second quarter and remaining in the first half. TW looking to improve to 14-17 on the year before they head out east. And as you already mentioned, they're going to be meeting the defending champions on their home floor for the very first time. So that'll be an interesting matchup there. And then also be visiting a couple spots closer to Serge Langus's hometown. He'll be able to get some home cooking too. And he has a unique institute out there, which he started with some partners too, a basketball institute essentially.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I'd love to go check it out myself. It's called the Shot Lab, and essentially it's a machine that sort of monitors your shot angle, and it's basically an analytics tool to analyze the shot and to figure out how to shoot better. The Moncton Miracles have been working. Sorry, the Moncton Miracles. There you go. They have been working in the shot lab so far, and Serge Langus told me that their shooting has been improved. Little advertisement there for himself. But the Titans last time they went on an East Coast swing, they did go there. Their shooting did improve slightly, so it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, I'm sure they will go back while they're out there, and maybe they can improve on shooting like they have so far in this game from a pretty miserable start.
As they head out east, at the start of April, last time they were out there was at the end of February for a 3-game trip. They'll stop in Moncton, take on the Island Storm, and then wrap it up against the aforementioned Hurricanes before coming back home on April 15th, the next home game against the St. John Riptide.
It'll be interesting to see in that game how the Titans sort of react. Obviously, I'm sure the people who are watching and listening know the history there. But last time those two teams met, there was a fight, and that game was in St. John. I'm sure since these guys are professional and since the Titans have about half of the players that they had at that time still on the roster, it'll just be a plain old basketball game. But hopefully that will be the case.
Out of the timeout, 33-29 now, Niagara. Umapeg swings it over for Blazek. He backs off. Zaglinski's on him tight defensively. Ball fake from Whitfield. He meets Zaglinski, and a charge called on Whitfield. Hands on his head in disbelief.
Offensive foul charge.
So for Whitfield, that'll be his second. And even though he's put up a game high 10, it hasn't come easy for him, and there certainly have been frustrating spurts, as has been evident by the reactions on his face and otherwise. 5 to go. Over to Zaglinski. Gets a screen from Hall. Continues the drive. Tried to find the trailer, and Hall off the roll. And instead found the arm of Adam Wing. Goes out of bounds, fortunately for him. Zaglinski lobbed it up top. Williams Jr. back in the ballgame. O'Corey, head fake, blows by Umapeg. Throws up the floater, doesn't go. Blazek with the loose ball rebound. Umapeg, Wing in the corner, driving baseline. He drew Williams Jr. off his feet. Blazek open 3, rims out. Cavell Johnson looking for the rebound, and it goes out of bounds. Johnson might have gotten a hand in the eye, and O'Corey slow to get up as well for Niagara. Both players are going to stay in the ball game. And right off the inbounds, Blazek yet again. And he's not having the kind of success he had from beyond the arc, that's for sure, from Tuesday night. 0 for 3 now from distance. O'Corey finds Williams Jr. That rattles out. Shooting continues to struggle for Niagara, although not as badly as Niagara or KW, who sit at 28%. Here's a pull-up 3. That again, fortunate for the Titans. They caught a break right there. a quick turnover, and the River Lions had a quick opportunity for an easy basket. Well, we say that. But Niagara still only up by 4. Hand it off back to Zaglinski after he got it into Carl Hall. Zaglinski, Blazik draped all over him. Down low, it's Williams Jr. Backs down on wing, lost a handle on it. Corey in the corner. We've seen him make that shot before, and finally the putback by Hall. Scrambling in their own end a little defensively were the Titans. Now Jason Kalist. Starting to direct traffic. Blazik over for Umapeg. Here's Wing. Lobbed in, now Kalist working to his left. Umapeg drops off for Wing in the corner just as the shot clock expired. Johnson goes up, and he's got the putback. Well, Johnson up to 4 now. Zaglinski. It's a high screen from Kirk Williams Jr. and a travel call on Zaglinski. Under 3 to go now in a 4-point ball game. Offense has picked up a little bit here as of late. This was another slow start to the quarter. Now Wing has all day, takes a dribble, sets his feet, and that doesn't come any easier for number 15, Adam Wing, with his first points of the night.
One of the issues that Keith Bastel saw with his Niagara River Lions team on Tuesday was the lack of urgency when it came to defense, and we just saw an example right there.
There's a response almost immediately from a Marty, a 3 of his own. Umapeg, the block from O'Corey, and for O'Corey, that's number 3, and he's going to take a seat.
Niagara foul charge number 2 taken for O'Corey, his 3rd personal, team 6th.
Team's leading scorer thus far, and he's going to hit the Pines as he's experienced a bit of foul trouble with 3 now. Blazik and the Titans down again by 4 as we near the 2-minute mark remaining in the first half. Bounce pass over for Wing. Blazik looks there for Cavell Johnson. That's a tough pass to make any day of the week. And Amarty just jumped up for it and reached and grabbed that pass himself, and at the other end, they turned points into, or turnovers into points rather, to Niagara, and now it's a 6-point River Lions lead. Umapeg, Johnson, the J doesn't fall. Zaglinski for Niagara. He'll take it hard to the basket, a nice drive for him, and that's going to force a quick timeout from the Titans as Niagara goes on a bit of a run here, and they lead it now 42-34. 8-point lead is their biggest of the game.
Yeah, the Titans sort of need to stop the bleeding right here. Obviously, a well-timed timeout at this point, and a really good idea to get these guys together and start to figure out how to stop the River Lions at this point.
22-6 is a stat that stands out the most at this point. Now make it that 24-6 on that latest lay-in. Points in the paint for Niagara have certainly been dominated by them as they've attacked the basket on a regular basis and taken advantage of the opportunities down low. KW just hasn't been able to establish presence in the blocks.
Yeah, and then you have the complete opposite with the River Lions, and they had the exact same benefit last time on Tuesday. They were able to get that strong coverage down low and force the Titans to the outside. Obviously, the Titans were able to take advantage of that by shooting the lights out, but it's not working so far in this game. And I think the Titans need to figure out how to get in that paint and how to get some points, and just get the dirty, gritty kind of points that you need to put together a decent score in a ball game.
As they break out of that timeout with Cavell Johnson out, with Jason Kalist, Blazik, Isaiah Umapeg, and Adam Wing. 1:32 to go in the half. And head coach Keith Vassell of the River Lions has to like this performance a little bit better than Tuesday, to be sure. At least the start of it anyways. Tale of two halves typically. Umapeg pulls up for the three, and that one rattles in. Isaiah Umapeg putting up a three. That's his second of the night, and just a quick response, not getting back defensively. Johnson showing his frustration, letting his teammate know he has to get back. So as soon as they get three in their name, they give two right back. 7-point Niagara lead. Over for Wing on his left hand. Denied as he tried to make that pass over for Blazik. Dropped off for Williams Jr. Ziglinski thought about it. Now he'll back off. Wing came up and overcommitted there. And now Johnson stepping in to help, and it goes out of bounds as he poked it away. Both Blazik and Wing came up top, but Wing charged way too far out. That allowed Ziglinski to expose him and drive right to the paint. Fortunately for him, Johnson bailed him out defensively. Here's Ziglinski. Got Blazik off his feet. I think the higher percentage shot still doesn't fall for him though. And now Jason Kalist. There's about a 5-second differential between the shot clock and game clock as we're close to wrapping up this first half now. Kalist, Ziglinski, one-on-one. Kalist will take his time on his left, and the foul call on Ziglinski. Some good footwork, and Kalist takes advantage of the matchup there for Ziglinski. That's his third now. So does he stay in for the remaining 10 seconds? I think the answer is going to be yes.
I can smell your breath from here.
Kalist settles in for his first free throw. That one is good. First free throw of the night for him. Amarty chirping him, obviously former teammates with the University of Oregon Ducks. Kalist, a bit of a smile on his face. Kalist will miss his second, 1 for 2 from the line tonight. And his first trip to the charity stripe. Williams Jr., 3 seconds inside. Carl Hall off the glass and in. And that's how the first half will end. And almost really a microcosm of what that first half was like. That's points number 25 and 26 in the paint for Niagara as they've really put up, well, it's really helped put up their lead now, which stands at 8 points going into the locker room here at half.
Yeah, the River Lions definitely have to be happy with that half. Fundamentally, we were talking earlier in the game how both teams fundamentally, shooting wasn't there, it was a little bit sloppy. They really picked up definitely in the second quarter, and they were able to sort of get those fundamentals down, get the blocks in, get the defense in too, and cut down on the opportunities that the Titans had from outside.
KW down 38 or 46-38 at halftime. Glenn Whitfield and the all scorers with 10. We'll be back with plenty more National Basketball League of Canada action right here from the Memorial Auditorium in Kitchener with the start of the second half in about 15 minutes time.
Really excited? Let's see it. All right, Ron's not going to be at the next Titans game. Just now over here for the three for $25 to Boston Pizza. What makes you think you're going to be able to get this instead of the easier shot? Not hungry enough, evidently. But let's try it. All right, for $25 to Boston Pizza. All right, Ron, listen, I'm in your corner, but this isn't looking really good. How about this? I take the shot for you and we split it. 100 each. I know it's tempting. All right, for $200 from half court, who thinks Ron's gonna make this shot for $200? Really? Really? Who thinks Ron's gonna miss the shot from half court?
Those people are the honest ones, unfortunately. You got it now, Rock? I'm feeling it. Everybody, wait. Run, 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 run. Sorry, buddy. If you try, you can keep the $200. You know what? I got good news for you, Rock. I got really good news for you. You're going to be going to work on Monday, and all the girls are going to be like, oh my God, Ron, you got the shot at the
Welcome back to Kitchener for the start of the second half, with the River Lions leading at 46-38 after 2 quarters of play. Looking at some of the first half stats, and again, it's Flynn Whitfield leading all scorers with 10. In fact, he's the lone player in double digits thus far tonight. 3 players with 7 for Niagara. That's Amarty, Okori, and Zaglinski. Winnipeg, the next highest scorer for KW with 8. We're just shooting 30% from the field, 12 of 39 from the floor. Niagara, 46% as they enter the third quarter. Not too shabby. And it's really those points in the paint, say it time and again, the easier buckets help determine a win from a loss. The deciding factor typically. 26-6, they outscored KW in the paint in those first 24 minutes of play. As Flynn Whitfield chases down the loose ball off the missed shot. Tried to keep it in bounds, but can't play it off the leg of the Niagara player.
Seems to me so far in this game, Niagara has been moving the ball around a little bit more efficiently and relying a little bit less on Kirk Williams Jr. as well. If you look at the score sheet, there are 3 players with 7 points, and obviously Kirk Williams Jr. with the team lead at 8. So they're spreading the ball around and getting everybody their opportunities and sort of finding if you have a lane to get into the paint, get in there.
Titans get it back within 5 now, 46-41. Here's Muldrow, uncharacteristic 3 as it hit nearly the top of the backboard as it rattled out and finally settled into the hands of Horton. There's an easy putback for Flynn Whitfield, and that's something he does pretty well, is establish a presence and a spot in the low post. It makes it so much more easier and tougher for the defenders, in fact, too. Corner 3, that one goes in and out for Amarty. And now a foul, loose ball foul. And that's Muldrow, his second personal of the night. Winnipeg over to wing once more over to Horton. Gets the partial screen from Whitfield. Winnipeg guarded well, dishes off. Whitfield again, and he's got this offense started here in the second half. He's up to 14 now. And a whistle on the play, kicked ball. And we're gonna get a timeout less than 2 minutes into the third quarter by head coach Keith Vassell of the River Lions. So what was a decent sized lead out of halftime has dwindled to now 1, just under the 2 minute mark of this third period.
Yeah, you know what, Serge Langus has talked over and over about this team and sort of the phases that they go through during the game and sort of finding finding the right buttons to push with these guys to get them going. They get a little bit too complacent when things are good, and when things are bad, they get down on themselves as well. So it's his job to kind of even these guys out, and that happens during timeouts, and that happens during in between halves. So obviously, Langus has found a way to make these guys work a little bit more efficiently and sort of get that energy up as well as we've seen so far.
It's interesting talking with him even recently about that sort of thing, how you have to consistently remind players of the game plan. And he's coached at every level imaginable, whether it's youth basketball, high school, and now the NBL. He's kind of made that progression in his coaching career, and he says it's the same at every level. You just have to keep hammering home those same points. It's just a tendency for players to get railroad, they get into the motion of a basketball game, and those good habits are often lost, and that's why we have those ebbs and flows in a basketball game.
One thing that he mentioned to me, which I found kind of interesting, was the Titans struggled to, according to Langus, they struggled to sort of close on games, and they struggled to find their closers, to find the guys to really step up during games. Obviously, on Tuesday, that player was Adam Blazik, but a valid point there, because this is a team that doesn't really have a designated scorer, doesn't really have it was Ricky Tarrant at one point, obviously not with the team anymore. So they kind of have to rely on players stepping up, and if they have the hot hand, just keep shooting and keep putting points up.
It's been more of an offense by committee, but then again, we've seen the last couple of games the likes of Glenn Whitfield kind of making his presence felt, maybe taking on that role a little bit. As here he is again, ball fake and a travel called against him. That's the Titans' 15th turnover of the night. Carl Hall coming back in the ball game for Niagara while Muldrow heads off. Quiet night for him thus far, just the 2 points for Muldrow. Here's Zaglinski in just his second game back with the River Lions, coming off the injury. And that one will get a nice roll off the front part of the rim. Zaglinski, step back three. That falls for him, and now Niagara back up by 6. Here's Blazik off the screen from Whitfield. Wing, he had a 3 of his own. That doesn't go. Zaglinski picks up the loose ball. One-on-one with Blazik. Gets it over for Corey. Hall's calling for it down low, but instead Corey backs off and gets a screen from Hall. In the corner, Williams Jr. He'll drive on his left hand, turns it to his right. The fade doesn't go, but Corey with the hustle play. Williams Jr. No putback, but the block being called on the Titans as Williams Jr. had an effective take to the basket. And Ed Horton on the foul. Or 33 rather, Glenn Whitfield. That's his third. So Kirk Williams Jr. will head to the stripe for a pair. First time tonight, in fact. And that doesn't go for him. 2 boards away from a double-double for himself this evening. Williams just a 64% free throw shooter. And clanks on both there. Umapeg will settle in for the 3. Shooting struggles continue here. A good take there by Zaglinski. And for Zaglinski, he's up to 12 now. Umapeg back towards his left wing, finds Horton in the corner. Wing takes another 3, doesn't go, as the Titans continue to struggle. It's a complete 180 from Tuesday night. 6 of 21 now from beyond the arc for them. Umapeg trying to get it, but squirts between his legs. Now Corey gets it right back. Corey will get the jumper to fall from about 10 feet out. And Niagara matching their biggest lead of the game at 10 right now. Whitfield, crossover, spinning. Nice shot there, just not too much on it. Now here's Wing. That's 3 straight threes he's tried, and none of them has fallen. Zaglinski driving the lane. Pops it out for Williams Jr. He's fouled on his way up, and he'll head right back to the free throw line. And that time it was Isaiah Umapeg. That's his third. Williams Jr. will have that rattle in. And for the first time in a long time, it feels like A.J. Davis is going to come in the ball game. And he's already getting a couple words from Richard Amarty. Bit of a grin on A.J. Davis's face. The smack talk has begun. And he gets a nice round of applause. The return of A.J. Davis to the lineup. Certainly a welcome addition for head coach Serge Langus. For Davis, averaging just under 13 points a game. And a pass is worked around. That went out of bounds there for a moment, but Flynn Whitfield finds it in his hands down low. The reverse lay is blocked, but he's also fouled. Carl Hall thought he had the clean swat, but Flynn Whitfield is going to go to the line now. And on A.J. Davis, 12.8 points a game to go along with 4.5 rebounds in 22 games played this season. One of those well, not quite inaugural times, I should say. He didn't play in that first exhibition game. He was part of that starting lineup, if you will, on the first regular season game, picked up from the London Lightning, one of their final cuts, in fact, and scooped up by GM Stu Julius. Spent some time in the D-League in North Dakota. A drive by Williams Jr., that's going to fall in for him. And all of a sudden, Williams Jr. is on a bit of a run. Up to 13, and Davis takes to the basket, and he's going to head to the charity stripe. And just as we sing Williams Jr.'s praises, his third foul is recorded. Good ball game going down there between Windsor and London, 61-58 with about 7 minutes to go in the third. That's another big divisional game, in fact. KW trying to catch up to the Express, 3.5 games behind them in the standings. London with a firm hold of first place, 9 games up on the second place Windsor Express.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier, a huge blow to them with Royce White leaving the team.
And Cadogan as well. A couple injuries that they're dealing with too.
Mm-hmm. What's your opinion on how that team will do down the stretch if Royce White stays home?
It's interesting. They haven't really had any sort of indication that they're going to struggle all too much. But you take a guy away like Royce White, your options are a lot more limited. But London certainly has the depth to still have the kind of success. It's just with these injuries that keep cropping up too. That's what I really wonder. They keep rearing its ugly head, and that might be something that other teams will take advantage of. And we see it tonight with Windsor hanging with them. And it certainly forced head coach Kyle Julius's hand here, trying to find a rotation that works for them. Just when things were really rolling, winning 14 straight at one point. Now we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting that you mentioned sort of switching tactics. We've seen that with pretty much every team in this league so far with changing players. We've seen it definitely with the Titans. It's kind of a cool dynamic in this league how mid-season roster changes or we're about 3/4 of the way through the season now. Roster changes can really affect the way that a team plays. The same team that you played back in January is probably not going to be a carbon copy in April.
There's a swat. Whitfield with the denial, tries another one as Zaglinski got their ball right back, and now Blazing's going to take a hard foul from Kirk Williams Jr. That's going to be number 4. Question on Twitter there from Titans superfan, I like to call him, Kevin Kingsley, asking who is going to be the standout man tonight for the Titans. And I think that's a pretty easy decision for both of us, and quite frankly, it's been fun Whitfield.
Yeah, definitely. He's a guy that really controls the floor and really controls the pace with this team. And the thing that really stands out with him the most is his ability to grab those rebounds as well.
Umapeg gets it over for Davis. Baseline pass attempted for Sutherland in the corner, tipped out of bounds at the last second by Amarty.
Just adding on to that, Flynn Whitfield has 5 rebounds in this game so far. and he's averaging 7.5 per game with the Titans this season. So if you can keep that rate up, I think it'll definitely benefit the Titans.
Blazik missing another 3. He's now 1 for 4 from distance. Williams Jr. pops it back out. Tough pass for him. O'Corey tried to return the favor for Williams Jr. Goes out of bounds. And the officials are looking back and forth at each other, but they're going to agree in the end that it was last touched by a Titan. Now Blazik is going to come back out, replaced by Kalist. Jason Kalist checks back in with 7 points, 2 assists. 61-52 Niagara, leading it with 5:12 to go in the third. Catch and shoot deep 2 there, but Zaglinski again chases it down. A lot of hustle shown by him tonight. That doesn't go. Blakeney with the rebound and the foul. This time it's Stutz, the big man on the big man with the harm. And I think we're we're 1 foul away from a bonus situation, in fact. 6-team foul there. Davis, Umapeg, Kalist, Blakeney, and Sutherland, the 5 on the floor for the Titans at the moment. It's Sutherland getting it over for Kalist. Umapeg with 3 blue jerseys collapsing on him. Blakeney has it bounce off his foot. It's going to be the 16th turnover of the night for the Titans. O'Corey finds Amarty, pump fake, steps into that shot, and a good decision in the end. A deep 2 for him baseline. Richard Amarty, the Scarborough native, up to 7 and 3 on the night. A scramble for the loose ball and a foul called. That's one thing this game has really lacked, is any sort of flow back and forth. A lot of stop and start moments.
Yeah, and you know, we haven't really seen any dramatic runs for either team either. There's been some spurts of greatness for each team, you know, putting a couple of points together, but we haven't really seen the consistent drive from either team.
Blakeney has his 4th foul now in limited minutes tonight. Corey has a bounce off the back part of that rim. Now Davis quickly up, looking to his right. He'll settle it down. Kalist nearly collided there with Amarty. Blakeney with a power move. Floater doesn't go for him though. Now Sutherland trying to catch up to Zaglinski. Horton helps out. Williams Jr. backs down Kalist, and Kalist strips it. Good job defensively there. As Kalist, nice crossover, and he's going to be bodied by Amarty in the foul call. This is going to be his 4th. So we got a load of lines here with at least 3 or more fouls, and 4 of them are on the floor right now. Stutz, Zaglinski, Corey, and now Amarty. They all had 3, and now Amarty has 4. And Amarty will go off. An easy decision there, in fact, for Coach Vassal of the River Lions. Niagara back in action. A quick turnaround for them, back on home floor, in fact, at the Meridian Center. 2 p.m. tip-off tomorrow afternoon in matinee National Basketball League of Canada action, taking on the St. John Riptide. And for KW, we already mentioned, going on that road swing. The first game of that 3-game road swing will be on April the 6th. That being this coming Thursday. It's the 6th and 7th and 9th before they head back to Ontario. Muldrow, head fake, baseline. He finds Murray in the corner, doesn't fall. Jump ball for it, and it's A.J. Davis. Nice pass, they have numbers. Horton will go up strong, and the left-handed floater finds his way through the bottom of the basket. And now a whistle. Titans trying to fight and claw their way back. Down by 7 with just over 3 to go in the frame. Muldrow settles in for the 3. Doesn't fall, and Davis with another rebound. Kalist Looking inside for Blakeney. Instead, Sutherland in the corner. No good. Zaglinski with a rebound of his own. A shimmy shake there as he's got Horton on him defensively. Zaglinski settles in and another three. Zaglinski is up to 15. Calise lobs it in for Davis. Scoops that in. Mismatch there. Pass back out. Blakeney's jumper from just atop the key. Doesn't go. Zaglinski takes a bump from Sutherland. Davis catches up to Stutz, who takes the three. Not too often you see that. And Calise trying to work off the miss. Double-digit lead again for the River Lions. Sutherland in the corner. Shaves the front part of the rim. River Lions the other way. Zaglinski, one more? No. Horton trying to chase it down, but it's the other number 3 of the River Lions now slowing down the pace as he wants to get the offense organized. Tries the right side, met by 3 white jerseys. Now it's Murray driving. That one up in the air. He just lost the handle on that one. Caliste. It's Horton in the corner this time. Can he nail it? No. Rattles out. Blakeney fighting for the rebound. It was first Muldrow and then Stutz tipping it away. And a foul called.
Threes aren't working, Serge. Working inside. Come on.
As it's Horton on the foul. And Tyrone Dixon coming back in, replacing A.J. Davis. So his first foray in a long time, at least in basketball terms, out since the early start of the month. A.J. Davis contributing with 3 rebounds, no points, but a couple of helpers and those 3 boards. Niagara now enjoying their biggest lead of the game again. Second time we said that, but they're up 11. Different looking team than Tuesday night, to be sure. On both respects, KW just not having any luck from beyond the arc. Calise goes for the strip, and Murray is unfazed as he lays it in for 2 more. And we have a 13-point game now. 1 minute to go in the third. Caliste trying to shake off Murray. Works his way down, now pops back out. 10 on the shot clock, Caliste, and he's fouled from behind by Murray. No continuation as the foul was on the floor. And we talk about all those with 3 and 4 fouls. That's Murray's first of the night. And actually, they'll say he was in the air on that. Not too sure about that, but either way, Caliste looking to take advantage. He does with his first shot.
And it was a smart move by Caliste to at least get into the paint and get inside and
bonus situation. That's what it was. That explains everything.
But yeah, definitely a smart move there, and I think that's something that the Titans are going to have to do in this game at some point. Drive to the inside and figure out this River Lions defense. They've been obviously working hard, and Stutz being a big part of that with some key interceptions and knocking down some shots as well. So the Titans have their work cut out for them so far, and they've dug themselves a little bit of a hole. But there is time left in this game. There's still an entire quarter, and this is the time where they need to sort of change their tactic and really change the tune of this game.
Stutz can't put it back inside. Couldn't have had an easier opportunity. And it goes out of bounds. They're going to say that Blakeney touched it. And he was out of bounds. And to carry on that thought, KW, they're down by 12. It could be a lot uglier considering that they're only still shooting 29%. There's a 3 miss, but the putback there by Muldrow. Horton will be looking for the last possession of the quarter. Caliste up top. Frustrated Serge Langus looks on. Police takes the three, and that'll roll in. Big basket there for the Titans to wrap things up. Maybe spark them a little bit. That's their 7th three of the night, but they're down by 11 going into the final quarter of play. Again, shooting under 30% on the night. That certainly is not going to get the job done. Flynn Whitfield still leading all scorers, though, with 18. Sammy Zaglinski, though, turning it on the start of the second half, now up to 16 on the night.
We definitely have to give the River Lions some credit here tonight, shooting 43%, which is obviously a great rate in any league, in any game, especially coming off a loss like they did on Tuesday and rebounding like they have so far. It's also interesting that 38 of their 71 points so far have come from inside the paint. So they're driving to the net and sort of exposing the Titans' weak side.
Caliste and Flanard Whitfield, the only two in double digits for the Titans. The aforementioned Zaglinski, along with Kirk Williams Jr., he's still those 2 rebounds away from recording a double-double. Also 4 dimes. But some players in foul trouble, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays into who Keith Vassell throws out on the floor throughout this last quarter of regulation. Niagara looking for its 10th win of the year. You don't want to be the last one to get there, as Cape Breton, the other expansion team this year, sitting at 8-18 there in the Atlantic Division. And Niagara would like to get back into double digits in terms of victories before heading back home, to be sure. Outscoring the Titans 25-22 in that third quarter of play. They outscored the Titans in every quarter here tonight. And sitting comfortably now with this 11-point lead. We'll see what the Titans come out with, and it looks like Cavell Johnson is going to be on the floor. So they go a bit bigger here. 38-14. The trend continues. Points in the paint for Niagara.
We've got your contact info. We'll be in touch. Let's make some noise for your KW Titans!
So this crowd tries to get into it, going to the final 12. And Muldrow will inbound. Zaglinski has Blazik on him defensively. Finds Murray. Horton standing up on him. Josiah Moore now checks in. Zaglinski trying to shake out Blazik with a screen from Muldrow. And a shot clock violation. A great defensive stand there from KW. Probably the most impressive stop of the night. Good switches all around. And now KW trying to get back within single digits. Just underway here in the fourth. Blazik was looking for Whitfield. Now Johnson cutting across the key. He has it now. A couple power dribbles. Rims out. And Muldrow with the rebound. Here goes Moore. Moore and a foul call. Down low is Stutz. And now Stutz will get a word from the official by Sammy Zaglinski will inbound. And Langus does not agree with that call, arguing that he was simply just trying to rebound the ball. Up top, it's Zaglinski. Whitfield working on him. Muldrow, 3, doesn't go. Johnson didn't get the inside positioning as flying in Josiah Moore, the Oakville native. Another long distance shot, Caliste quickly up. Pulls up, trying to find Whitfield, pass doesn't connect. And now Johnson will hold up Zaglinski. And that's kind of a foul to slow things down. And that's Johnson, just his first of the night.
Johnson, his first, team
Yeah, arguably a smart move by him there.
Trying to prevent the fast break.
Exactly. Yeah, the River Lions had a good break going. They were pretty much destined to score. So, stop things and make them earn it this time.
Stutz. Here's another 3 attempt, and that's going to drop for Stutz. Logan Stutz has not made a point from, aside from the free throw shots. He changes that trend anyways with the 3-ball. Horton, there's one of his own. Back to an 11-point game. For Logan Stutz, talk about his size, 6'9", 220. But he doesn't hesitate to take it from beyond the arc. 37 attempts, now 38, and he's made 18 of them on the season. Around the 45% mark. Pretty good for a big man.
Yeah, not only that, but you see the amount of effort that he puts in on the defensive side of the ball as well. He gets into really great positions, and he's just working his tail off. You can see it on his face when he's working. You can see just how hard it is.
Zaglinski gets a bit of a push from behind from Blazik, and that might have thrown him off there. No call, and now Kalist. Here's another 3 attempt, and that's going to go Jason Kalist with number 4 on the night. He's up to 16. He's really starting to maybe pace the offense here. At first, it was Flynn Whitfield to start the second half. Now Kalist is kind of taking on that role. Working it down low. This is Williams Jr. Whitfield on him defensively. Zaglinski doesn't connect on that. Kalist shakes off Sammy. Now Johnson, partially tipped. Kalist again, rims out Cavell Johnson with the one-handed putback. Blazik trying to do the same, and that doesn't go. Now still fighting for the loose ball and a foul on Blazik. And Johnson, I think this frustration is starting to boil over a little bit. It's been one of those nights, but this game's still not out of reach for KW, only down 8.
Yeah, exactly. Talking to Keith Vassell before the game, he mentioned something, and it's so basic, but it makes so much sense. You give the other team opportunities, and they sort of have the choice of whether or not to capitalize. So far, the Titans have given the River Lions plenty of opportunities, but the River Lions have capitalized at a decent rate and haven't run away with this one yet to the Titans' benefit. So the Titans are still within reach of this one. Luckily, it's going to take the next 8 minutes of work to close that gap, though.
Off to the air ball. His next trip to the basket, Williams Jr. tries to make it a little easier for himself. Garners some hard contact, in fact, and he's going to be fouled. So it results in easier shots from the free throw line. Richard Amarty back in for Niagara. Cavell Johnson heading off for KW. Adam Wing back in. Been a rough go for Cavell Johnson tonight. He was absent from the Titans roster for a few games, and aside from 11-point night,
Let's go, Blazik, get him going.
he's been held to single digits in 4 of his last 5 games coming into tonight, and this evening only 4 points. Blazik now. Kalist quickly in, hot pass to handle for Whitfield, a little behind him, making it that much more difficult. And Okori on the holding violation is what they categorize it as. Basically a carry, but Stutz will head off now for Niagara.
Wait.
8:14 to go with Ed Horton playing it over for Blazik. Blazik driving off the window and out. Flynn Whitfield with the putback, though, working hard down low. 7th rebound and points number 19 and 20. And for Flenn Whitfield, that's back-to-back games with 20 or more points now, as he's had recorded 20 in 3 of his last 5 games. Carl Hall working it down low on Whitfield. Misses the mark, and now Blazek is away for Wing. Lobbed in for Whitfield. Give him the rock, why not? Off the window and in as he lays it in. A fist pump as an exclamation mark. He's really feeling it. And the KW Titans are recognizing that. They battle back, and it's a 2-possession game. 22 for Flenn Whitfield. Talked about how his last performance was a season high. Well, he might just best that this evening, and he's in pretty good shape of doing it. And for Horton, this is his 3rd personal. He's got 8 points tonight, but even that's been kind of rough to come by.
Yeah, Flenn Whitfield hasn't been shooting the way that he did on Tuesday, going 8 for 10. Today's 9 for 15, but the points, the bottom line is still there, and like I mentioned earlier, I think the most valuable aspect of his play is his ability to pick up those rebounds, specifically offensive.
And Jason Kalist looking for an explanation on that foul call. That's a second. And now the official's going to be called over by the head coach, and Serge Lang is basically being told to cool it. A bit hot under the collar, so better be careful not to get teed up. And a pass inside for Williams Jr., too easy. And Niagara goes back up by 7. Under 7 to go now. Kalist over for Wing. He's looking for Whitfield. Takes it himself, and that works out. The running layup goes, and back to a 5-point game. Marty has to get rid of it, and he does finally. Marcus Lewis for Niagara. Takes it on his left hand. It doesn't finish, though. And a late foul, and Whitfield is in a heap of pain. This is not good. I think he took a knock to his left knee there. Fouls on Kirk Williams Jr. Whitfield's up and walking around a bit gingerly, though. Cavell Johnson is going to replace him for a quick breather. They want to get him checked over.
Yeah, it's good to see him at least walk that one off. You see in similar plays like that, coming down, a lot of serious knee injuries, ACL injuries, MCL injuries. So the fact that he's able to walk off is a good sign for the Titans. Obviously, give him a little breather, maybe let him ice his knee a little bit, and hopefully get him back out there for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, they'll need him for the stretch run here as they try to mount a comeback. Down 5 to the last place, Niagara River Lions. They can ill afford to give up these kind of potential victories. Can the KW Titans? These are the games that they say you have to win. But credit the River Lions coming back after a bit of a demoralizing loss. Never like to be on the losing side of a record-setting effort, and they've held their own. Although they're only shooting 39% at the moment, they've frustrated the Titans into submission, just shooting 32%. Horton over for Kalist, catch and shoot 3, that'll go! Jason Kalist with another 3, that's 5 on the night, he's up to 19 now. Zaglinski, bumped by Blazek. Marty finds it in his hands. Kalist trying to disrupt that lob pass in for Williams Jr. 1-on-1 with Wing. This is who you want to guard the team's highest scorer. Williams Jr. and the shot clock expires. The 3 fell, but the buzzer sounded. Shot clock violation. And KW with the stop. Now a chance to tie.
Saw some really good defensive coverage from the Titans down low, keeping the River Lions out and forcing them to sort of move that ball around, which caused that shot clock violation.
Timeout on the floor. 5:27 to go in the fourth, and the Titans all of a sudden have some life, and that's really thanks to both Glenn Whitfield and Jason Caliste. 22 and 19 points respectively. Blazik headed off with a bit of a bump. Caliste really picking up the slack. And Sammy Zaglinski has been kept in check for KW this fourth quarter by the KW defense. And that other out-of-town score at the moment is London now retaking the lead, and a solid one at that. It's a 14-point advantage for them, 88-74, with just under 9 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And I'm sure KW Titans fans will love seeing that because, quite frankly, first place is out of hand or out of reach. But if they can get somehow into that second spot, that would give them a first-round playoff home game. Top 4 teams in the center, in each division, in fact, qualify for the playoffs.
And I think most importantly in that situation, it makes sure that they're not going to be facing London in the first round of the playoffs anymore.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I think that's what they're all hoping for. Stay out of that number 4 position. The Orangeville A's have gone on quite a bit of a slide, sitting at 11 and 18 now. Titans kind of in that purgatory, I guess, if you will, of the NBL Canada Central. Its wins are at 9.5 back, KW at 12.5, and Orangeville 14. Here goes Ed Horton out of the timeout with KW looking to tie or take the lead on this possession. Blazik, Zaglinski on him. Gets a screen from Johnson. Nice pass there for Cavell Johnson. That won't roll in. Battles for his own board and puts it back. Cavell Johnson's second effort ties up the game for KW. Great work in the paint. It's been a frustrating go for one of the team's leaders in Cavell Johnson. But a nice effort there as he's come in to replace Glenn Whitfield, at least for the time being. Now O'Corey, step back 3, no good. Wing with the offensive or defensive board, loose ball now, and Zaglinski picks it up. Horton and Wing collided, and now fresh possession on the other side, and that one will go. Richard Omarty puts Niagara back up by 3. Caliste. Zaglinski on him, gets another screen. Johnson running, lay-in, won't go. Cavell Johnson, all of a sudden, he's feeling it. 80-79, Niagara. Inside for Hall. Johnson on him. Body down, Hall, nice work. Fans pleading for a call, none forthcoming. Johnson slow to get up. Caliste waiting for 2 of his teammates to catch up. Wing is finally there, provides support. Middle of the lane, layup doesn't go. Transition the other way, Williams Jr. wide open, layup denied by Johnson. Out of nowhere, Cavell Johnson. Off the glass and out. These last couple minutes for number 28 have been outstanding.
Yeah, you know, he's ranked number 5 in the lead number 5 in the league for total blocks for a reason, and that's one right there. He just sort of has an instinct for picking those up.
Leads the team in that category. Cavell Johnson, a presence at both ends of the floor. Last couple trips for the Titans, now foul away from the ball, and it's gonna be Jason Caliste. Caliste looking for an explanation from the crew chief, Ross Isley. That's Caliste's 3rd personal.
At the line for Niagara, number 31, Kirk Williams Jr. shooting 2.
And Williams Jr. heads back to the free throw line, sitting at 17 points, 3 of 6 from the stripe tonight. 3-point ball game. looking to make it a 2-possession. This crowd gets loud. Williams Jr. first shot, straight and true. Couple dribbles as he settles in for his second. Also good. Williams Jr. now up to 19. Talked earlier how he likes to play these Titans. A lot of success against them this season. Another solid game out of him offensively tonight. Inside it goes. Flynn Whitfield back in for KW. Had issues with it initially, but puts it in on the right-handed floater. He looks okay. Back to a 3-point game. All of a sudden, some life for the Titans in this one. In latter stages of the ball game. That rims out. Tipped around. Khalees swatted away. Okori. Now Umapeg. Umapeg is away and lost it as it goes in the first row of seats. Had to hold our breaths to see who wanted that basketball. And a timeout called by the Titans with 2:30 to go in regulation. Seems like everything is happening as of late.
And they saved all the action for the last 4 minutes of the game here. Definitely a great effort by the Titans during this drive. They have been a little bit misfortunate when it comes to going out of bounds. I mean, we've seen this in games before where they'll build up momentum and then something, for lack of a better term, something silly happens. Somebody steps out of bounds. Somebody loses the ball. And those are the fundamental things that obviously happen in basketball. But those are the things that shouldn't happen.
Especially at this level.
Exactly, and it can be such a momentum killer as well. When you have turnovers from such silly things.
Flynn Whitfield now a season high. We said it again. Said it for the first time on Tuesday night. We say it again. 24 on the evening. 10 of 16 from the field. 4 for 4 from the stripe. 7 rebounds as well, and he's doing it playing with 4 fouls at the moment. 2:30 to go as the Titans are looking to go back-to-back wins on Niagara, but they're down by 3 at the moment. They're 5-1 against the River Lions this season. And head coach Keith Vassell and co looking to lock this one down on the road. Here we go, Blazing. Defending Zaglinski, now it's Okori. Gets the screen from Hall. Okori, the fadeaway doesn't go. Tried the pass, in fact. Now Umapeg is away. Wing, he'll slow it down. Back for Umapeg. He's gonna direct the traffic and calls for Khalees, cut down low. Tries the right side, gets it to Whitfield, in the paint. Whitfield posting up, gets the foul, but no bucket. Carl Hall went up and left his feet. At the very least, that's what Whitfield wanted. Was looking for maybe the and one, but he'll head to the free throw line again, looking to make it a 1-point game. So Whitfield will get settled in here. Bonus situation here. KW can ill afford to foul anymore. They're up to 17 fouls this quarter. And the first free throw is missed. Whitfield perfect from the line up to this point. His second will fall though. KW needed 2 to tie. Under 2 to go now. Okori for Niagara, Umapeg on him. Here's Zaglinski with 16 on the night. Back in his hands. Whitfield, bit of a mismatch there on the switch. Khalees down low on Hall, that's definitely a mismatch. And Hall takes full advantage. the jumper there as he shot over Caliste. 4-point game now. They're trying to play it in for Whitfield. Umape, one-on-one with Okori. Good switch from Niagara. Wing driving off the glass. He's fouled, and Wing will go back to the line. For Adam Wing, quiet night for him, just the 5 points. But working hard on the defensive end, 6 rebounds. And for Wing, he goes to the free throw line. Has a pretty good free throw shooter. 80% from the stripe. 46 of 57 coming into tonight's action. 2 for 2 there. And a quick timeout being called by Coach Vassal of the River Lions. Back to a 2-point game. It's going to make for an exciting finish. It was interesting, Adam Blazik was talking about it post-game in my interview with him. It hasn't come all too often, victories, or just results in general, that KW has been able to kind of sit back and enjoy the moment. It's always been hard to come by for them. Well, they're in for another tough one here to wrap things up.
Exactly. It's almost like they enjoy making it tough on themselves and enjoy the heat of having a close game right at the end of the game. But like I mentioned earlier, Serge Langus has been sort of lamenting that a little bit. Obviously, it's good for the fans here, and it's good for us because it makes for exciting games. But when the Titans get up, they seem to get a little bit too comfortable. But they seem to do well when they're down as well. When they're battling back and they sort of find that momentum. Unfortunately, most of the time, judging by the below 500 record as well, they do end up coming up short.
For Jason Caliste, the 19 tonight matches the 19 he had on Tuesday. Another great output offensively for him. Back-to-back double-digit games.
You know, it is unusual. It's quiet in here, fans. Let's hear
3 of his last 4, in fact. Season high for him, in case you're wondering, 21. I think he'd be more relieved to get a victory here today, though. Titans down by 2. As they fought and battled, they were down by 11 at one point. Hasn't been pretty. They're still shooting under 35%. They're trying to get the job done regardless. Okori inside, doesn't go, put back by Hall. Floats in. Back to a 2-possession game. Blazik, 3. Rims out, rebound is there. Whitfield puts it back in, the 1. Glenn Whitfield is doing all sorts of things here tonight for the KW Titans, not only rebounding, scoring a ton of points, and showing some intangibles like some solid leadership too, putting this team on his back.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to take in games like these. You need 1 or 2 guys to really step up and put their bodies on the line and do whatever it takes and get those gritty points and just do all the little things to get your team back into the game, get your team into a position to win.
Finishes off the 3-point play, and we have ourselves a 1-point game. 40 seconds to go in regulation. Okori calling for the screen from Williams. They're going to milk down this clock as much as they can. Okori behind the back dribble, takes the jumper, no good, but a big board from Amari. Scramble for a loose ball and a foul. And Jason Caliste runs away, hitting the jersey, and frustration is written all over the faces of the Titans.
Yeah, looked like Adam Blazik was calling for a jump ball on that. I'm inclined to agree with him, but it's tough to tell when you had about four Titans surrounding him as well. So definitely unfortunate call against the Titans, but there's a miss.
Marty misses a first free throw. Niagara trying to snap a 4-game losing streak here tonight. They're 24 and a half seconds away from doing so, and that'll help as that boosts their lead to 2 now. Timeout. And KW will talk it over, as will the River Lions. Fantastic game here in the end at the Yacht. It's kind of looking ugly in spurts, but these fans have been entertained at the end of the day, as really have been all season long by this new franchise here in KW. And what can you say about Glenn Whitfield really stepping up his game as of late? Back-to-back season highs. And proving to be a great addition to this Titans roster. But obviously the defense will be keying on him here on this ensuing possession to try and tie the game up. Fortunately for the Titans, Jason Calise feeling it pretty good tonight too.
Exactly. Yeah.
A couple options.
Yeah, we've seen sort of some of the unusual and some of the usual suspects doing well for the Titans here tonight. Obviously, Blarned Whitfield doing well so far this season, but we've seen some other players step up. Jason Calise has been a little bit up and down. He's having a solid game. And then, that's really the way that the team needs to be built. You can't always rely on the same players. You look at Adam Blazik, who had what I assume was a career game on Tuesday. Comes back here, he's a little bit flat. His shots aren't going quite as well, but you need your teammates to be able to pick you up in those types of situations, and that's what's happening here so far.
All this despite KW only shooting 34% from the field. Umapeg slowing it down. They're going to wind down this clock. It's matched perfectly with the shot clock. Wing worked over. Blazik for 3. Rims out and the board by Amarty. And KW will finally foul. It took a couple extra seconds. 4 seconds left on the clock. They set up Blazik for the 3 and just rimmed out. That would have given KW the lead. So now we go back to the other end of the floor, and Richard Amarty with a chance to ice it. The official looking up at the clock. A couple extra seconds ran off, but we didn't hear the whistle almost immediately. They might tack on a few more. Amarty, 13 on the night, 6 rebounds, and 1 for 2 from the free throw line. First one rattles in. Second also good, and we'll have a timeout KW. No timeout, so 4.1 seconds left in this one. 4-point Niagara lead. And they look in good shape right now to stop this 4-game skid.
Yeah, and it's a tough break for Blazik right there. He had a good look, had a good shooting lane, but obviously the basketball gods weren't quite with him today.
And KW now will imminently fall to 13 and 18 unless, barring a miracle, they'll need a quick basket and then a turnover. And then obviously 2 more at least just to throw it to overtime, but Tall has to do with 4.1. One that got away is how they'll probably categorize this, and it'll make for a bit more of a sour road trip out east. 2 wins would have been oh so nice.
The one saving grace for the Titans so far is the fact that the Windsor Express are down 101-97 as they host the London Lightning. There's less than 3 minutes left in that game, so that one will be winding down soon. Hopefully for the Titans' sake, the Windsor continues at that rate and loses that game to sort of keep within pace and within reach of second place as well.
Calise from the corner a second ago doesn't fall, but we have an out of bounds call. Calise had stepped out of bounds as he settled in for that 3, and that will do it. This is all rudimentary here as O'Corey will just throw it down the floor, and that will give Niagara their 10th win of the season. That'll cancel out their 4-game losing streak. They get back in the win column, and for KW, they fall to 13-18 on the year. Missed opportunity here at home, coming off a big win on Tuesday night, going back-to-back against the last-place River Lions. Now KW will head out east for 3 on the road, looking to bounce back against some stout competition.
Yeah, like we talked earlier, this is a big part of their season and a big time that will really decide the rest of the season for this team with the 3 games on the East Coast. Again, that's Moncton Miracles on April 6th. The Island Storm on April 7th, and the Halifax Hurricanes, the defending champions, on April 9th. So some tough competition in that game, and definitely they're going to be looking to rebound from this and really build some momentum on the East Coast, coming back and facing some tough teams here once they get back.
They look to be at least grab at least a pair of victories on the road on that swing before heading back. Make sure to check out all those games. You'll have them live on YouTube before we bring it back for you here from the Odd, April 15th, the next home game for KW as they welcome the St. John Riptide here to the Odd at 7 p.m. tip-off here in Kitchener. For Adam Jackson, I'm Dan Polchuk. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll have Ian Jodry back in the hot seat, back for that game on the 15th. But for tonight, thanks so much for tuning in, and good night from Kitchener.